Hello, Ramen Nation. Chris Cobain here, and I'm bringing you, I believe, battle number 4 of our Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle series. Today we are running another brand new team. I've been running quite a few since Sun and Moon came out, and this is probably my favorite that I've run. And if you can't tell by looking at it, this is actually a Trick Room team. I've never, in all my battles, I've never tried a single Trick Room team. I did use one in VGC. In fact, I think I have some videos way back on my YouTube somewhere where I was doing, where I did a couple of VGC battles with the Trick Room team. I may have, I don't know. But I've never done a singles one. It took me quite a while to get used to it. Trick Room's kind of tricky in singles because, no pun intended, because you have to use one of its turns to set it up and then one of its turns to switch out your Trick Room most of the time. So in most cases, you end up having 3 turns for Trick Room attackers to go off. And it can be difficult. So my opponent here is Carlo, longtime viewer of the channel. He is actually running his own Trick Room team, which kind of sucks. Full disclaimer here, he did openly admit to me that he built his team with mine in his head. Not to say that he countered here, but that he only ran a single Trick Roomer on his team. In Slowbro mode, you don't see Trick Room teams run one Trick Roomer. It's typically 2 or most of the time 3. He actually told me that he only ran 1 because he figured he could rely on me to set it up for him. He actually told me that. So take that as you will, just as a heads up. So on my team, we're running Tapu Koko, who is typically my dedicated lead here. For the most part, my Carbink can also do it, but this is the one Pokemon that I have that is built to work outside of Trick Room. It's not uncommon, pretty much a good idea to want to run a fast mon just so you don't get Trick Room up all the time. You still have a reliance on speed somewhere. We have Crabominable, one of my 2 actual Trick Room sweepers. He is Life Orb. And amazing. Porygon 2 is my first Trick Roomer. Obviously, he's fully specially defensive, Eviolite, carrying Tri-Attack, Recover, Trick Room, and Shadow Ball to deal with Alola Marowak, which we're up against. Carbink is my second Trick Roomer. He is a sturdy Mental Herb set with Taunt, Stealth, well, not with Taunt, Mental Herb stops Taunt, with Stealth Rocks, Trick Room, Moonblast, and actually Explosion to Suicide. Exeggutor is my other Trick Room attacker. He is also Life Orb, full special. He's got Draco and Leaf Storm on him, along with Flamethrower and Sludge Wave, because why not? What a cool moveset. And Magearna rounds out my Trick Roomer as my third one, and is the one Trick Room on my team that can really start to do its own damage once it sets up Trick Room. It has Floor Cannon, obviously Flash Cannon, and Thunderbolt to deal with Toxapexes and Celesteelas in the case that Trick Room's up and I can't really rely on Koko so much. It's a good team. It took some getting used to, and this is a pretty good match that has a pretty huge turn in it that you guys will see. So let's go ahead and get it started. So as I said, typically I like to lead off with Tapu Koko with this team. Like I said, Carbink can also do it, but I felt like Tapu was going to be my better lead in this fight. So that's going to be what I lead off with. And he actually decides to lead off with his Golem. So that's not what I expected, actually, and it's not really that good because he obviously is Electric type now. He's going to have Galvanized, and his attacks are going to be powered up now by my terrain. So my first turn here, I'm going to U-turn out. My best play for a boosted electric attack is actually going to be someone I don't typically like to switch in to take hits, and that's going to be my Exeggutor. He does quad resist electric thanks to the Grass Dragon typing, and even with the terrain up and Galvanized intact, you're going to see that this return does, I think, around 25, yeah, about 25%, which isn't that much considering. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and just click Draco Meteor. Leaf Storm obviously does more damage to a Golem, but I figured he was going to either go into Marowak or more likely the Mandibuzz to eat up that. He could have went to Tapu Bulu as well, but Tapu Bulu typically doesn't have anything to deal with grass types, not to mention one that quad resists grass like I do, and he knows I carry Sludge Wave, so he does not want to put that Bulu at risk so early. So he's going to go into Mandibuzz, which I call, and hit him with Draco. So easy switch out here. Obviously, Mandibuzz isn't going to be able to do anything to a Magearna, so that's what we're going to go into. He does predict this play very, very well and goes for U-turn. Good play on his part. It is super effective against Exeggutor as well, so why not? But the one thing that's good for is now that thing is actually not going to be able to heal and is dead to another attack from Exeggutor. He goes into Marowak, and this is where the big turn comes into play here that actually changes the entire course of the battle. My answer to this is actually my Porygon 2, because I can out-heal its Flare Blitz with Recover. But as you're going to see, well, actually, I go into Carbink first. I forgot. Haha! Live recording. Yeah, I go into Carbink first because I predict the Flare Blitz, and he goes for Shadow Bone, and then reveals Iron Head, which is not something you typically see on him, and I die. So there we go. Unfortunately, Carbink does nothing here. But as I said, Porygon 2 is my answer to this. At most times, it can recover off Flare Blitz and force Recall, but as you're going to see, I'm going to trace Cursed Body. Now, that's really weird. You want him to be Lightning Rod, and what that means is he actually can't answer Tapu Koko, but I actually forget this. Later on in the match, you're going to see. But keep in mind, he is Cursed Body, not Lightning Rod that comes into play here. So, as he switches out, because he's going to have to switch out there, I'm going to go ahead and go for Trick Room. Again, his team is Trick Room based, but my team is a lot slower than his at times. So I figure that's the best play at this point. So we're going to go ahead and go into Exeggutor. Again, Quad Resist. As I said, this thing typically can't do a lot of damage. We do Friska's Choice Band, which is not a surprise. And you're definitely going to tell that it's banded because it does 25%, which to a Quad Resisting Exeggutor, which is insane. So with this play, super easy. He's got actually nothing else on his entire team to take Dracos. There's no way he stays in right now, knowing that I have both Flamethrower and Sludge Wave, and then he's locked into that. I know he has to switch. Pretty sure it was an Mandibuzz too. He does go into that. Draco Meteor does land, fortunately, and Mandibuzz is going to go down, so Mandibuzz does actually nothing in this match, which is very good, because this thing could have been a pain in my butt. But we do take it out. So this is going to give him a free reign to go ahead and jump back into Marowak here. I've really got nothing that I can do. Marowak really likes to have Tapu Bull on his team because of the fact that with the grassy terrain up, even without leftovers, if you're trying to run that thick club like most like to do, you're still going to get that passive recovery every turn because of the grassy terrain, which really helps with that recoil damage, as you're going to see. So yet again, I'm going to trace Cursed Body here, and he's going to end up doing a little over 50% with this Flare Blitz, showing the thick club in case you weren't aware he was already thick club, which is insane. And I disable Flare Blitz. Now that's huge here. For two reasons, well, one, it makes sure that he can't hit me with it, and two, it forces him out, at least in my opinion, but unfortunately he goes in a Boomerang. But what's crazy about that is I end up surviving, I think, with 2 health? 2 health. The grassy terrain saved me, guys, which is actually insane. And we're going to be able to recover off. What you're going to notice, actually, is that he outsped me on that turn with Trick Room intact. Marowak is slower than Porygon 2 at base. I am actually minimum speed, 0 IVs. I got it bred that way, luckily. But he is slower than me, which is interesting to note. I outspeed him on normal occasions. So I recover all that damage off. He still can't go for Boomerang, so he's going to be forced to switch. He goes into the Golem there. I went for Shadow Ball. I figured that I would be able to recover myself if I had to, if he decided to not to go back for Boomerang, because he still couldn't Flare Blitz. So he's back into the Golem. I'm going to switch back into my Exeggutor here. He makes a pretty solid play. He goes for Earthquake as opposed to going for an Electric Attack, probably just in case I went into Koko, and it also isn't quad resisted by Exeggutor. And then unfortunately for him, he's actually going to miss Stone Edge, and that's going to cause Leaf Storm to absolutely obliterate him and get rid of something that really could take advantage of me having Koko on the team, which is actually really nice. So yet again, we're at -2. It puts him in free reign to do a lot of different things here. And he's going to just bring in Tapu Bulu, actually, because I have no switch-ins to that anymore. All things considered, I don't have Exeggutor healthy anymore. So he could actually go for a Horn Leech. He actually decides to go for Superpower. And this is going to kill me, clearly. But this is where I make my really big misplay here. My best play to switch into a banded Superpower is obviously my Fairy. That's going to be Tapu Koko. I completely forgot at this point that he wasn't Lightning Rod. I was still thinking, when you see a low Marowak, you just super think Koko counter, or at least I do. So I was still fully thinking him as a Koko counter, and instead of going for Volt Switch, which was the easiest play, I went for U-turn and actually ruined this battle hardcore. If I went for Volt Switch here, he would have died, or close to it, and I would have been huge. But unfortunately, I go for U-turn, and I actually switch in Porygon, and that's where I realized, crap, he's Cursed Body. I actually make a mistake there. So, but as you already know, I am faster than him because Trick Room is not up. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into Porygon and then go for Recover. He makes the hard switch into this Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy is a really good mon, but when he's up against something like Porygon 2, I'm actually not really scared of him in any form right now. I actually just stay in. I know I'm faster than this because I know it's also Trick Room. He's super slow. As you're going to see, I actually crit Tri-Attack there. It does almost 50%. He's going to Hydro Pump, which does a lot. All things considered, I am max special defensive, but it doesn't do quite enough to really make a huge difference there. I'm going to try attack again off his Life Orb. He's going to go all the way down to 25%. I actually pick up the unfortunate freeze there for him. Feels bad, man. He doesn't get that second Hydro Pump off, which could have been huge. Instead, he schools, goes into the small Wishy-Washy. I go for Recover here, and this is actually a pretty funny play, to be honest. I get one back up max health, and he actually goes thaws out and goes for Rest, which is actually a really cool set, Life Orb Rest. Unfortunately, the terrain was still up. You cannot fall asleep under the effects of the electric terrain there. So his Rest actually fails. The terrain goes away. Oopsie, wrong button. Ironically, and then he's going to go down to the next Tri-Attack. So Wishy-Washy, unfortunately, not able to do too much there. So he's able to go back into Tapu Bulu here. Again, Tapu Bulu, hella terrifying for me. So I'm going to actually hard switch out here, and we're going to go into Magearna. I know he's going to go for the Horn Leech. I know it's going to do a lot of damage, but I really have to keep Porygon healthy at this point, or at least I feel like I do. He does almost 50%, which is actually crazy. I'm max offensive, max HP, so it's not like I'm insanely bulky, but damn, Tapu Bulu hits really hard. So now he's locked in a Horn Leech. Very, very obvious that he's going to have to go into, Marowak here. And I actually am going to make the play to go into Grabominable here. Now, I could have went into Tapu Koko, but I know going into Koko with Bulu as healthy as he is, I'm not really going to be able to kill him. And I really don't want to force myself to continuously switch into hits from the Tapu Bulu here. So I actually sat Grabominable instead. The reason for that is simply because, well, he's got Grass type that's faster than me. He's got Marowak, and he's got a Slowbro. What is he doing? The answer here is nothing, unfortunately. So I'm going to let him die for free recoil damage there. That's basically all I was going for. And we're able to go back into Porygon 2 and trace Curse Body again. This is going to come up huge. Now, I do carry Shadow Ball. He does know that. I am faster than him. He would die to it. So he's going to go ahead and go into Slowbro. He does not want to risk going into Tapu Bulu at this point in time. Tapu Bulu is a little too important, especially considering that he wouldn't reset his terrain, which is set to go away in a couple of turns. So the Slowbro takes it pretty well. It is a 3-hit KO. I go for a second Shadow Ball. And I actually expect him to go for Trick Room here, but I would be faster than Tapu Bulu and still live one hit from the Marowak and kill him. So I guess he didn't really want me to have that set up and really be an advantage to win the game. So instead he just goes for Scald. Instead of Trick Room, it does get the burn because, you know, Scald's burn rate is something around 200% at this point in time. But it doesn't really change much in this battle. The terrain goes away there, and we're going to be able to hit him with a Tri-Attack. Why not, in case he goes into Bulu for some reason, and pick up the kill on Slowbro, who also does very little. So, this play is actually kind of crazy. He goes into Bulu. I know he's banded, and I don't really want to switch in anything here, because I can go into Magearna, but then he's going to go into Marowak. It's going to be all really complicated, to be honest. So instead, I decide to stay in. I know that I can take one attack. Horn Leech does around 60 to 70% there, but the play I wanted kicks in. I traced Curse Body, and it actually kicks in on the first attempt, which is absolutely huge. He's choice banded. He can no longer attack me. Not only does Marowak, you know, lose to Tapu Koko in this game, but he actually causes Tapu Bulu to lose to Porygon 2. He's forced to switch out unless he wants to struggle, which he obviously does not. My play is super easy. Go for Shadow Ball. The Marowak has to come back in. It dies because of its own Curse Body ability. Heads up, guys. Always run Lightning Rod. Actually, you can get away with Rockhead on a Trick Room team as well, to be honest. But for the most part, you want to be running Lightning Rod. That's one of the reasons why. So, of course, he has to go back into Bulu here. I've got no reason to do anything except for stay in. There's no reason to switch. He does kill me with that Horn Leech. Porygon 2 puts in the utmost work in this game, killing Wishy-Washy, killing Slowbro, killing Marowak. Huge match for him, someone who's not typically meant to do a ton of damage. I go into Magearna. He is able to 2-hit me here. I didn't think that mattered. I was pretty certain I was going to one-tap him with a Flash Cannon. But Tapu Bulu shows a good amount of bulk. I think he lives with exactly 1 health, or so it looks like there. And that's actually really awkward for me. It actually scared me really bad, because he's going to get he's going to get the terrain recovery, and then he's going to get the Horn Leech recovery, and then he's going to get the terrain recovery, which actually is terrifying. But if you didn't notice, Flash Cannon actually lowered his special defense. I think that actually comes in huge in this match. It may have actually won me the game. Not 100% positive. He's going to kill me with that second Horn Leech, and that's going to leave it a 1v1 outside of Trick Room, fortunately for me, versus the Tapus here. So Coco comes in. Again, he's at -1. He's about 45% here. I don't really know if I would have killed him. He did love a Flash Cannon from a quiet 2v2 special attack Magearna. So maybe it mattered. Maybe I wouldn't have done so much. But he does have the -1, which does confirm, no question, that Dazzling Gleam's 100% going to take him out. And I actually barely pick up the win 1-0 in a really close match. So the Porygon 2 thing was pretty funny in this game. Actually, when I bred him, I wanted to be Trace instead of Download, because he's not really offensive. And I had a few people in my chat actually questioning my decision, like, why don't you make him Download in a Trick Room team? You can get a little bit of an offensive boost sometimes and maybe do work with your own Trick Room, which is true. But my main reasoning for being Trace is actually because of Marowak. Because a lot of times you will, with the meta how it is, it's very, very, everything's very common right now. You see a lot of the same things over and over. So a lot of people do like to carry both Tapu Koko and Marowak. And actually the reason I went Trace is just because I figured I could Trace the Lightning Rod and then be able to destroy Coco's 1v1. I pretty much beat him anyway because I'm full specially defensive, but without them being able to use electric attacks on me, it's huge. So, comes up huge in that match. I'm pretty sure without that, I don't win the game. Even with this Marowak being Curse Body, Tapu Bulu still is easily able to 1v1 Tapu Koko with ease. I cannot kill it with any attack, even partially, and it obviously would absolutely obliterate me with the Banded Horn Leech. So, good game, close match, and I really do like this Trick Room team. It's really good. I actually have another video with it, another battle with it that I want to upload too, that it'll be a few days probably, but I think I'll upload the other one too, because it's actually another really good game. Anyway, guys, ramble a little bit. Thank you guys for watching the video today. As you know, I already appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Make sure you like and comment. I'd appreciate that too if you enjoyed the content. If you have not checked out my live stream, make sure you do so over at twitch.tv/xchriscobain. We do all my battles there. I do not typically battle off stream, but we do all my battles there. So if you want to fight me, get a match in, maybe get up on YouTube, that's your best chance to do so. And obviously that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm out. I'll be back for the next video, guys. Thank you once again for watching. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next battle, alright? Peace, Ramen Nation. See you next time. Wow, XDK Chew.